Let's read the poem The Laburnum Top, written by Ted Hughes. Ted Hughes is an English writer. He is quite famous for writing about the natural world from the inside as a being who knows that he is not alienated from it. His works achieve its force through the way in which one image denotes another, so that the whole poem throbs with controlled violence. Let's see this dominant feature of his poetry through the poem The Laburnum Top. Here it goes. The laburnum top is silent, quite still, in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. Then sleek as a lizard, and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness, and a machine starts up of chitterings and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It's the engine of her family. She stokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. Then with eerie, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. If we look back at the poem, what we find is that the beginning of the poem shows the laburnum top to be very quiet and silent. The poet has purposely used the afternoon yellow September sunlight. The reason, of course, is we'll have to imagine that it's the autumnal season, and that too afternoon, wherein the sunlight is there. And then, of course, the poet says that a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. As it is, the flowers of the laburnum tree are yellow in color. The leaves have turned yellow, and some of the seeds have fallen. So this is the beginning of the poem. We are there to imagine the laburnum top, the top of the laburnum tree, to be very quiet and still. And the dominant color is yellow. Yellow, of course, also because of the autumnal season. Yellow because of the sunlight which is at its peak. And then the yellow flowers of the yellow, and the whole scene is filled with this dominant color yellow. So the tree is almost bare, the leaves have turned yellow, some of the seeds have fallen also, and then the still laburnum tree remains still for a long time till the goldfinch comes. The goldfinch comes, and she comes with a twitching chirrup. And then the moment the goldfinch comes, there's a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end, because this bird brings with it something good, and she is there to reach her family. Perhaps her nest is on the laburnum tree. So the moment, of course, the goldfinch arrives, there is a startlement. There is a kind of a movement in the still laburnum tree. She sits at the branch end for some time, and then sleekly as a lizard, she enters the thickness. The poet has compared the movement of the goldfinch to its nest with that of a lizard. A lizard is sleek, alert, and abrupt. All these three things we notice in the bird too. The bird is sleek, it is alert just like the lizard, it's alert about being seen by the predators, it's alert about the protection of his young ones, her young ones in the nest, and then her movement is abrupt and quick, like that of a lizard. So very nicely the poet compares mother goldfinch with a lizard who is sleek and abruptly enters the thickness of the tree where the nest is. And the moment the bird reaches the thickness of the tree, it seems as if a machine has started up, and there is chirruping, there is chittering, there is tremor of wings and trillings, and the whole tree trembles and thrills. So the laburnum tree, which was silent earlier, pulsates with life and activity with the arrival of the goldfinch first, and then reaching its nest creates a kind of a great movement in the tree. The whole tree trembles and thrills because the young ones were eagerly waiting for the mother bird. And the moment they see their mother there, they express their joy, they express their excitement with the flutter of wings and chitterings, chirrupings, and there is a lot of life and activity on seeing the mother bird there, and the tree comes to life. The poet says that it is the engine of a family. The nest with the young ones in it could be taken as the main place, and she stokes it full. The mother bird stokes it full. She is there to feed her young ones. She is also like an engine for the family. She is there to create a lot of happiness. She is there to make them hopeful. She is there to feed the birds. She is there to give them a warmth. And so she stokes it full. And after spending some time with the young ones, feeding them, she just flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. So after feeding the little ones, she perches once again at the end of the branch. And her face is concealed. It's hidden behind the yellow bars, the yellow flowers that are falling. And besides, her face is striped, so that she just shows her identity to the little ones for a minute. And then with eerie, delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite. So she just feeds the little ones. Then she has to continue this. She has to again find food for the little ones. So she, after feeding the birds, she sits at the end of a branch, and before launching away, before moving away, she just makes some strange, delicate sounds which can be considered delicate whispering chirrup, and she then flies away, takes a flight once again towards the infinite to again find food for her little ones. And as soon as the bird launches away, as soon as the mother goldfinch moves away towards the infinite, the laburnum tree subsides to empty. So the tree was silent and quiet earlier. With the moving away of the goldfinch, the laburnum tree prepares itself to remain in the same position till the mother goldfinch will come again. So the poem begins with a note that the laburnum top is silent. It ends also in the same note that with the launching away of the mother bird, the tree again subsides to empty. It becomes calm, quiet and still as it was earlier. So this is actually how the poet has beautifully captured the scene of the still laburnum tree, the arrival of the goldfinch, the excitement, the startlement, the sound and movement that can be beautifully noticed when the mother and the children are together. And then the way she's like the engine for the family and stokes it full. She's there to feed the little ones. She's a great caretaker. She's there to look after the little ones. And as soon as she quietly moves away, the laburnum tree becomes silent. So his Ted Hughes' poetry ranged from free verse to highly structured forms, but in this poem, he abandons the traditional forms and uses sound, movement, and color to create its own music. The poem captures the beauty of the yellow flowered laburnum in the autumn September sunlight. The stillness of the trees contrasted with the trembling and quivering once the goldfinch visits her family. The poem moves in a cyclic pattern and ends as it began, with the stillness of the tree. So we all notice that this poem is rich in color and imagery. If we just go back to the imagery, we just get to capture the scene of the September sunlight, wherein the leaves have turned yellow, some seeds have fallen, and then the color of the bird again is yellow. One thing. Then, of course, we notice the comparisons, the simile used, sleek as a lizard. And it's perfect. The movement of the lizard and the movement of the bird in the nest are quite similar. Both are alert and abrupt. And then, of course, a lot of sound words can be easily noticed: chitterings, chirrupings, and the movement words. The bird, of course, is very precautious. Besides, there is a flutter of wings, tremor. All these actually create sound. Then the whole tree trembles and thrills. The very word engine builds up an image of something being started. And then, of course, the machinery as if it has been set in motion. Likewise, you can notice a lot of alliterations there. Tree trembles, thrills, startlement, suddenness, startlement at the branch end, alert, abrupt. So the more we look at the poem, the more we feel that it's rich in sound, music, and color. All these three permeate in the poem through the rich descriptions. So a reading and rereading of the poem will make you realize that this poem is beautifully crafted.